Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. It is October 2nd, we are on IO over here at Giant Scar, and Xur is back. So he's over here in his little cave, so we gotta drive over there real quick. If you guys did miss it this morning, we recorded the Last Word episode 122. I'll cover a little detail about that at the end, but you guys will see that video come up on my channel if I don't die trying to get in this cave. You guys will see that video go up tomorrow morning. But for now, let's see what Tentacle has to offer as he's hiding over here in the cave. There he is. Let's go. Alright, so quick reminder, of course, always buy your exotic engram if you've got the shards to spare. It gives you a chance at a good armor roll. If you have all the exotics, if you're missing anything, it's going to start going down that checklist, kind of completing your collection. This week, he is selling Hard Light for the weapon. We've got a auto rifle, which auto rifles are in a pretty good spot, and it's the 600 RPM. Now, it's not like the best, but it's actually really good functional-wise. You've got the perk Volatile Light. Rounds fired from this weapon have reduced damage fall-off, so they go farther with less fall-off and damage, so you're going to get a bit more range out of this weapon than normal. They over-penetrate, so they're going to be going through, hitting multiple targets, and ricochet off hard surfaces. Projectile damage increases after bounce, so if you're shooting stuff around walls, if you're shooting it at the floor in front of an enemy, if just crazy laser light shows are happening, you might get extra damage. Overall, it's fairly cool. Definitely a good weapon to use. If for some reason you don't have this, I'm honestly not entirely sure how they're going to handle stasis in this weapon. I will be very curious because this perk, the Fundamentals, if you hold reload for like an extended reload, not just like tap the button, you can actually change between an arc, solar, and void energy type for this weapon. So you can be in the middle of a Nightfall, which you're normally locked into your inventory, hold R to change how you reload, and now all of a sudden you've got an arc weapon, or do it again and you've got a void weapon, or do it again and you got a solar weapon. So this one actually can play all three energy types, which is really helpful if you need to be able to take certain shields on. My bigger question is, honestly, with stasis coming, is this going to get all four, or is this one just kind of stuck in the past? We'll have to see, but if for some reason you don't have Hard Light already, it's a fun gun to use. You definitely should buy this thing if you're missing out on this, or you're new. It's definitely a must-buy. This one, you got to have this one, I think. For the hunters, we've got the Ophidia Spathe. Now, this one's actually fairly cool. It says it grants 2 knives per charge. Now, Armamentarium for the Titan gives you 2 grenades, but you have to actually charge them both up separately. So you like get a full grenade charge, then you'll see the charge kind of continue over the top of the first charge that you've got. This one just basically, when you get your first melee fully charged, you have 2. Good to go. So you throw one, you still get another one, throw a next, and then when you recharge it again, you get 2 back. So I don't know if you have to specifically throw both to get the thing recharging again, but every charge you get 2 knives, so it's actually less of a cooldown for more benefits. Now this is going to be for the solar subclass. This doesn't really work for the other 2. So this is going to be in all your types of throwing knives in the solar subclass. And to top this thing off, if you like throwing knives, you've actually got a pretty good stat roll to go with it. Mobility 12, pretty good for a hunter. Resilience, always good to have at least 10 there to, help up if you're going for PvP. Recovery, 10. Discipline, 7. Not really talking about grenades, so not that big of a deal. Intellect, 16. It's always good to have that high. Strength, if you could just take 5 away from discipline and put that 5 on strength, you probably couldn't ask for much of a better roll. But seriously still, if you like throwing knives, you like your solar subclass, and the fact that this has 64 stats, you might consider buying this one even if you already have one. So definitely check your stat roll in your collections or your vault. This one may be a must purchase as well, depending on your playstyle. For the Titan, we've got the Mask of the Quiet One. Always kind of a subtle exotic. And I mean, obviously the mask is kind of obvious of what you're wearing, but the perk is Dreaded Visage. Grants ability energy when you're damaged. So anytime you take damage, you get a little bit of ability energy. That's going to be class ability, grenade, melee. Abilities are not your super. Those are truly separate. When critically wounded, regain maximum health on kills. So if you get to that point where your shield is gone and you're down to the flashing red health bar, if you get a kill, you regain your maximum health. So honestly, it's a subtle exotic, but you get use out of it all the time. We're taking damage all the time in this game, so you're going to be getting your abilities back. Even if it's not substantially quicker, just a constant bonus to everything is never bad. And then the fact that if you get wounded, say in PvP, but then you can get out and, get a quick kill or something like that, you get your health back, you're going to stay in the mix longer. Also, we've got our stats over here. 7 in mobility, 19 in resilience. Titans, their class ability, the barricade, is based on resilience. So nice to see that high for Titans. I know resilience doesn't do a ton in the game, but it is the Titan stat, so I guess that's not a horrible thing. Recovery of 6 is kind of low. You got Discipline 7, Intellect is 14, at least they're giving us some decent super energy this week, and Strength is 9. Still, 62 stats with Resilience and Intellect for a Titan. Can't really complain. So again, check your collection, see what your stat rule's like. This one may be better. And as a Titan, this is just one, put it on and forget it. And you get benefits from it all the time. Doesn't matter what class you use. You can always get something good from this exotic. And it's active all the time. You don't have to wait for some weird combination of events to happen. So if you're new, try this thing out. It can be one you just put it on, forget it, and always get a benefit. It's nice to have. All right, finally for Warlocks, we've got the Skull of Dire Ahamkara. This one is actual Grandeur, that's the perk, provides additional damage resistance during Nova Bomb. So while you're actually casting the Nova Bomb, you're kind of going through the animation, you're harder to kill. It's a fairly short animation, so that one's not as big of a deal. Now this used to be better because Nova Bomb kills grant super energy. You used to be able to drop this into like a group of like 20 enemies and almost refill your super completely. They capped it at about 50%. But it still is actually fairly good because still 50% of a super, getting that thing back about twice as fast, still a good thing. If you enjoy your Nova Bombs, this is still kind of one of your jams. There are other ones to use for the Void subclass for Warlocks, but if you just enjoy smashing stuff with a Nova Bomb, you're pretty heavily intellect focused, consider this one. It's not horrible. Stats here are pretty well-rounded. We got 10 in mobility, 7 resilience, 16 in recovery. For Warlocks, that's definitely a good thing. 13 in discipline, 9 in intellect, 9 in strength. 64 stat roll, again, pretty decent stat rolls all around for this week. And decent exotics for some more general, some very specific, but all in all, pretty decent on the exotics. If you don't have this, again, if you're new, trying to complete your collections, I always say buy all of the exotics that he's selling here to complete your collections, because then if you come up here, you get a chance for one, at something new that he's not selling, and two, make sure you buy all 3 of these if you're missing any of them before you buy this, because you don't want to spend 97 shards to get one of these when they only cost you 23. But that's basically it for this week, guys. Tentacle Face, as I said, is on IO. The Last Word podcast we recorded this morning, we had IRL Guardian on. If you haven't seen him, he's actually like a movie stuntman, does some cool in life Guardian animation. So like what it looks like if you'd cast a super or do finisher moves in real life, because he's got like martial arts training. So that was a really cool discussion. If you like movies, that was honestly really cool. Other than that, you guys know where to find me. Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. If you guys find me on Twitch and Twitter, it's Ebontis on both, whether I'm streaming this or any other game. But in the interim, we got Festival of the Lost coming up this week. I've got a video that just came out about that one. And then, of course, right here on YouTube, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like below, leave a comment if you want to say hello or just have any questions. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the alert bell. Thank you guys very much. If you're new, love to keep you coming back. So I got more videos coming. Stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Have a good weekend.